man got me messed up. I know you just did not throw my flowers, my gift that I received from my boss. I know you did not do that, Cedric. What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? I received these gifts from my boss. It is Valentine's Day. Hey, let me tell you, I've been at my job for 15 years. I deserve a gift. It's nothing wrong with me getting a gift from my boss. And what is wrong with it? You should appreciate it. I'm the one that's holding it down in this house. If you don't like it, well, where you gonna sleep tonight? I wonder where you gonna sleep tonight. Where are you gonna sleep tonight? Because you're not gonna sleep here because you're not gonna be throwing my gift that I received from my boss. No, sir. No, I don't think so. No. No, you need to leave. You need to leave. Now. You need to leave. Now. You got 5 seconds to leave. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Now, I am of the mindset that this may very well just be a skit. And I believe and I hope that it is a skit. Because the guy, he does look very familiar to me. But I hope it's just a skit. But be that as it may, we know that this is a real life situation that occurs, and there is something even deeper that happened within the video that many people may not have focused on. Let's tackle the obvious. The obvious is, are there some bosses who do give gifts to all their employees on holidays? It happens. Many bosses do that. Now, in this situation, she got candy, she got flowers, and she got balloons. But it's on Valentine's Day. Although there are some bosses who do give all the women flowers on Valentine's Day, it's generally not roses. It's generally going to be wildflowers or some other type of, $8, $9, $10 flower that you can pick up at any convenience store. As a person who used to own companies and had employees, I would never give my employees gifts on Valentine's Day. For the simple reason that if I were to give them a gift on Valentine's Day that was something endearing like flowers, then I knew that could cause a problem in their home because I don't know who their husbands, boyfriends are, whatever, wives. I know that I would give men flowers personally, but I wouldn't. It just wouldn't sit right with me because that would be something that could create problems within the person's home. So first person who is at fault here is the boss, unless the boss is trying to get a little piece of that cookie. Now, if the boss is trying to get a little piece of that cookie, then of course, he's going to give you something on Valentine's Day. And I can understand the gentleman is having an issue with that if he's giving gifts on Valentine's Day. Now, let's say he gave gifts to everybody. Now, if he gave gifts to everybody, matter of fact, let me show you that. Now, if you notice, all those flowers were wildflowers. There were no roses involved. And we know that roses have a different connotation than wildflowers. And he gave it to everybody. Now, I would not have done that personally. Matter of fact, I've never done that personally. On Valentine's Day, I've given gift cards for them to be able to take their mates out on dinners and things of that nature. But I've never given out flowers because that's something more personal. But so we know that it happens and that it can happen innocently. But it's too big of a risk to do so. So I understand the gentleman being upset that his woman is receiving flowers. What I find even more upsetting is the fact that she tried to throw money into the picture. The fact that she's saying that she's the one who's holding it down. So therefore, and we don't know if that's true, but therefore, since she's the one who's holding it down, then that gives her the supreme authority within the house. And that if another man wanted to give her flowers, another man wanted to give her gifts, then that he should be simping and accept that. I want y'all to think about that for a second. That's why I paused. I want you to think about it for just a moment. A person thinks that because they may or may not be paying the majority of the bills in a household, thinks it's okay to disrespect their mate by accepting intimate gifts from their boss or from any man whatsoever. or any woman, it could be reversed, that because you pay bills, and possibly the majority of them, it's okay to receive gifts that are of the intimate nature. If you are of this mindset and you agree with that, you need not be in a relationship. You are not prepared to be in a relationship. You're not mature enough to be in a relationship. Now, for all the people who were in the comments of that video saying that, well, if she pays for the bills, then he should be able to receive, she should be able to receive those gifts. Imagine, if you will, that the man is making more money and the man is paying all the bills. Should he then be able to receive gifts from a female coworker or a female boss? Would you be okay with that? If she bought him some nice cologne, would you be okay with that? If she bought him some shoes, would you be okay with that? Bought him a nice tie, would you be okay with that? Of course you wouldn't. You'd have a problem and you know it. So before you jump into the idea that it is okay and that he should be mature enough to understand what is going on, and that if he's not paying the bills, then what authority does he have? Put yourself in that position, but on the reverse. And would you find it to be okay? Because if you don't, then you're a hypocrite. Then you're a person who only sides with one side, regardless of what the situation is. And therefore, you're not mature enough to actually even have a conversation or a discussion with. Now, this is why I believe in protecting your relationships. And it is incumbent upon each individual to protect the relationship, especially when the person is not around, to consider, how would this affect the relationship? How would this affect the other person? Because if I believe that accepting something like that from a boss or someone would affect my relationship in a negative way, then I would not accept it. If one of my wife's friends called me and say, hey, can you help me move some furniture? And y'all know what it means sometimes when they say, will you come over and help me move some furniture? They're not literally talking about moving some furniture by lifting it. They're talking about lifting them to move that furniture. You know what I'm talking about? But if I suspected that there was any kind of foul play, I wouldn't go. If it hasn't been a friend that has been verified to be someone who has absolutely no desires to disrupt the relationship, I wouldn't go. And even before I would even go, I would let my wife know, hey, so such and such want me to come and help them move some furniture. You ready? You ready? Because I wouldn't even want the scent of impropriety to be going on. Now, of course, there are certain levels of a relationship that you can have with someone where, like, there was a friendship that I had with a young lady, and we had one with the husband as well. And but I was more friends with the young lady than the husband, and so we would have conversations away from the other ones because they were boring. The other conversation they would be having we find it boring. So we might be in another room having a different conversation. Also because the other two are very loud, and I don't like being in very loud situations. So we would be in another room having a different conversation. That has happened. But everybody knew everybody, and everybody knew everything that's going on. So then everybody knew that there was absolutely nothing going on. There was absolutely no way in hell I was ever to step outside. If I was going to step outside, it wouldn't be with that person. I mean, yeah, no. Love them, but no. But you understand what I'm saying is that you have to protect your relationship. I know I rambled a little bit, but you have to protect your relationships. You have to be willing to consider how your actions or words affect your mate. And the fact that this person is placing money as the deciding factor as to who gets to do what just shows that they are never prepared to be in a relationship no matter what the situation is. And if you find yourself where money makes that much of a difference, then you're not ready to be in a relationship. And if you're already in one, I suggest that you seek some type of coaching, some type of help, some type of counseling. But this lady is completely wrong, completely 100% wrong. Her boss, completely 100% wrong. The gentleman is 100% right. What do you guys think? So always remember, you have to free yourself to be yourself because your greatness is non-negotiable. Good journey, good vibration.